construct of 10.
Ashed.
It's a
Ashtay. Ashtay. I mean, what's that? Where'd that come from? Well, that's Ashtay Asad. Is that clear in your mind?
It's not.
still,
It's
the
not two
numbers?
here.
There's just two correct ways to say these numbers.
Okay. See, it's simple as that.
Simple
Memorize
as-
them. You see, my advice was always memorize them. So,
It's easy when there's logic to it, though.
Amen to that. Bring it.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
There
all right.
is no discussion of logic when it comes to Hebrew because Hebrew is not built on logic. It's the language
Dead
that
language.
despises logic and neglects
Now we know why
it.
it died. That's right.
Hebrew is based on imagery. It's an imaginative language, and language of pictures that once somebody in the Eastern world tells you some story, it becomes so vivid in your mind and you understand exactly to the point what it is about that you can't forget the principle that story carries. That's why Jesus is saying parables. Because for the simple-minded folks, that's the only way to convey effectively some kind of a truth. You know, even if they don't understand the spiritual meaning behind it, they still understand the story. So in Hebrew, for the most part, there is little or no attention to logic of events or something like that. The main story line is prevalent. So they might skip, let's say, even in genealogy, they'll skip a couple of names and just avoid them without any logic because they're just cursed kings and that's all. So they're not there. Or they will say, grandfather gave birth to this grandson, great-grandson, when in fact it's not true because there are two more generations that they will erase. So there's no logic to it. As well as there's no logic why God chooses the second-born son and not the firstborn. At no point of time in the Bible does God choose and keeps the firstborn sons. David is king of Israel. He's the last son.
Where's Jesus?
Esau and Jacob,
He was
Adam,
unique.
Cain, and Abel. Abel is the second son. Cain is a murderer, right?
Just my brother and Craig. I'm the youngest. I'll get it.
Most of the time, God does not follow logic of supposedly God's regulation. The firstborn is mine. He says, you know what? Firstborn is mine, but this guy isn't. You know, I just want the other one, and that's all. And we don't know why. Maybe he's trying to say that he supersedes any human logic. Exactly. Another.
Or if he already has the oldest,
Passive teaching.
he's going to take the youngest too.
What was that? Okay. Basically, these will have to be carefully reviewed and memorized. There won't be too much instances where you will have to deal with numbers, but when it comes to the book of Numbers,
That's all there is.
you might want to be aware
We don't study
that
that
that's
book.
all that there is. Numbers. And numbers.
We don't study that book in our church.
That was not inspired.
Yeah.
Well, I'm yet to see somebody who memorized the book of Numbers in their devotional memorization of the scriptures, or book of Leviticus in its entirety.
Leviticus is a good book.
Is it?
It's a very good book, but memorizing it, I think, is a very tough task. Okay, another set of numbers that we have to learn also are the ordinal numbers. And this is whole other set. The first one, cardinal numbers, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the usual number system. This one would be first, second, third, fourth, 15th, 25th, and so on and so forth. So they also have masculine and feminine forms. And let's look at some of the examples of them. First will be Rishon. No wonder the first word in the Bible starts with Bereshit, bara Elohim, ha'eretz ve'hashamayim. Bereshit is a preposition added to the word first. In first, or in the beginning, as some of us translate that. It doesn't mean that it was at the very, very beginning of existence of God. No, it means at the first stage of creation of earth. That's what it was. Okay, so this word Rishon, you have to remember, because the word for the book of Genesis is actually Bereshit, in the beginning, or at first. Second one is Shni, or actually, Sheni. Sorry, I reversed Sere for Shva. It's Sheni. She is a long A. Sheni in the masculine form, and Shenit in the feminine form. Shelishi. You see the long Kira-Kyot combination is for third in masculine, and Shelishit in feminine. Okay, fourth is Revi'i, or rather Revi'i, and Revi'it for feminine. Fifth one is Hamishi, and then Hamishit for feminine. And the rest of the examples are on page 115. You can look at them, or we can move on. There's plenty.
Those are easy.
We're good, okay. Then on the next quiz or on the midterm exam, we'll see some numbers, if they're easy. Let's look at some numbers of the ordinal number system in phrases. Bayom Harishon.
I need to check that.
On the first day. So you can literally say in the first day, or during the first day, because in the first day, that means between the sundown and sundown. During, you can also say, ba, bayom. Or you can say by day, bayom and balayla. You can say by day and by night, also using the same preposition, but. Harishon, you see the definiteness, so it's the first day. The first day, not just a first day, but the. So Leviticus 23:7. Next one, Bayom Hashevi'i, on the seventh day, and that's important verse just because on the seventh day God rested. That's why Seventh-day Adventists were created. So, it's a restful denomination. They just like to rest, and they don't like the rest of us.
That's true.
Yeah, but they get a chance to watch football Sunday night. That's the real reason.
That's the one
That's the real
plus.
theological reason.
They get a chance to watch a Sunday night football, and we don't. Well, you can always bring in the TV in a church.
We did.
And we're
We're putting up sheetrock and watching the Cowboy game.
Blessed are you.
Yeah.
Watching
Of course, it was all staticky, but.
Don't you give yourself inside a church because of all the spiritual things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the
All the
last
angelic
example is
beings.
Bishnat Ha'arba'im. Bishnat Ha'arba'im. In the 40th year. See, Arba is what? 4, but if you say, if you put the plural ending on 4, it will be actually 40. And Bishnat, what is Bishnat? What word is it coming from? Bishnat. Shana, which is
Year.
a year. Okay, so you see that year is a feminine, that's why it changes from hey to tau, and then it would be be shana with shiva, right? But Hebrew does not tolerate 2 shivas in a row, so the first shiva, which should be under be, is actually compensated by lengthening of the shiva to hira. And then you have what is in the middle of beit. Is that a dagish forte or dagish length? Dagish length. Okay. And a virtual doubling says that there's something that's hidden.
Is that a construct? So we have the
Yes,
pseudo oven there?
yes it is. It is a construct. Okay, and that's from 1 Chronicles 26:31, if anyone wonders. Okay, let's review the vocabulary in the textbook.
Oh, that wasn't a vocabulary.
Vocabulary for chapter 11.
So we have 30 words.
I would read the word and I would like for you to repeat after me so you can get the vocal exercise going. Amach.
Amach.
Not rach, but amach.
Amach.
It's not het, it's hey. I was just trying to pronounce it so it's not just amach. Amach. Okay. Forearm or cubit. M.
M.
Mother.
M.
Ooh.
Beged.
Beged.
Garment.
Big. Baggage. Baggage.
Yeah.
Garment.
Zera.
Zera.
Seed, offspring, descendant, child. Could be also sperm. Chatzer.
Hatzer.
Permanent settlement, court, or enclosure. Lila.
Lila.
And that's the word that almost everybody knows.
Oh, sorry.
It's being recorded too, and also it means night. Okay. Layla is a deviation from that form. It's Arabic for the same word, Layla. It means night, or actually the name of the drug.
See it work.
Moed. Moed. Appointed time. I think I skipped one.
You
more.
did.
Yeah.
I'll-
You did.
I'll get to it. Yeah, I see. You notice my mistakes, just like I am. Appointed place of or time, season. Lakin, therefore. Machne, camp or army. See, we got a word hayil for the army. Now we have machne. Malach, messenger or angel.
That's where
Okay.
Michael's name comes from? Or root of it?
I do not know.
That's not acceptable.
Ma'aseh, work. That's a curse word for somebody here.
Before their work.
Na'ar, youth or young man. Nachla, inheritance. Actually, it's nachala.
No.
It's not just shva. Nachala.
No.
Nachala. Kind of shorter, almost like shva. It's ha-ha-ha. Aon, transgression or iniquity.
Avon.
Kerev, inward